Hi, I'm Thomas Chase Jones, and this is going to be a Did You Know lesson. And we're just going to talk about real simple little chords that guitar players start learning. Like this is a D chord. A lot of guitar players learn this. It's an early chord they learn. I'm just going to play the top 3 strings. So these are the notes. And you should try to actually get to where you can just strum those 3 strings without hitting the other ones. So you can just learn these little shapes. So this is a triad, and it's called a triad because there's 3 notes. Sounds like a doorbell, doesn't it? Anyway, so these triads, they have 3 notes, and the normal notes in a major triad are 1, 3, and 5. Those are the 3 notes from the scale. If this was a D scale, it would be the first step, the 3rd step, and the 5th step make up this triad. Okay, so that I'm assuming you already understand scale steps. So let's just go with the chord. There's a lot of substitute tones that we can use. And let's start off with the 1. This is a D, and that's 1. So we can substitute 1. We can put 2 for 1, and that ends up being this chord. So you can hear kind of how it sounds. That's 2 for 1. And I'm going back and forth so you can hear it. Okay, now let's use 2 for 3, and 2, which would be an E note, and 3, which would be an F sharp. That's 3. We can use an open E string. So this is 2 for 3. You hear a lot of folk people going. Okay, so that's 2 for 3. So you have 2 for 1, 2 for 3. Okay, the next substitute tone is 4 for 3. And so the 4th step of a D scale is a G, so it would be this. And I'm going to resolve it to the 3 because the substitute tone can resolve to the tone that it's substituting for. So here it is. All right, so you can put these in combinations, but before we do that, let's explore and see if that's all we've got. So we have 2 for 3, or 4 for 3. We have 2 for 1, and the other would be maybe 7 for 1. So that sounds like this. Here's a D chord. That's 7 for 1. Well, you could argue that that becomes a major 7th chord when I do this, and it has a D bass. It's true, but we're thinking in terms of just keeping it a triad, a simple little D major triad. And we're going to substitute some tones. Okay, so now we have the 5th, which this is the 5th here. You can have a 4 for 5. And that would be an open G, because that's the 4th step of a D scale, see? So you can have an open G. So this is what that sounds like. All right, and then for 5 you can have a 6 for 5, and that sounds like this. Okay, so those are pretty much all of the substitute tones for just a triad. So when you're writing songs, if you're writing songs, try putting these little substitute tones in, and you'll find that your chords take on a new life, a little fresh breath of air, so to speak, musical breath. So, you know, let's say my chords are I'm just playing simple triads, a D, a G, and a C chord. So now with substitute tones, so you're just thinking about simple little chords, and those are the substitute tones. So I'll just kind of review here. So for the 1, you have a substitute tone 2 for 1. You can put a 7 for the 1. For the 3, you can put a 4 for 3, and you can put a 2 for 3. And for the 5, you can put a 4 for 5 or a 6 for 5. And all these numbers are scale steps. So the scale steps starting on a D, D is 1, E is 2, F sharp 3, G 4, A 5, B 6, C sharp 7, back to 1. Okay? Did you know all that?